The other film of yours that I so really enjoyed is Cut It Off.
Cut It Off.
I like it because it's very simple to the point, but also it explores men's hair.
Cut It Off came as there was a competition, a film competition going around by a really weird and shady African company, but I saw it on Instagram and they were talking about make a very short film talking about decolonization and basically African roots. And I got thinking about how African women suffer a lot with their hair and there's a lot of stigma that they have to overcome.
Yes.
And we forget that men are the dead versions of that.
Dead version.
For us, they completely butchered us. There's no...
If women are struggling, men are not non-existent.
They don't exist anymore.
Sometimes as creators, we are so protective of our ideas because we're like, I don't want someone to steal my idea. I don't want it to be seem similar to another person.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with that as a writer or filmmaker?
I used to, but I learned that, like, I think it was one of the stories that was told to me this, like, the story is not yours. That's why, like, even this year I discovered another film which had the exact same concept. And it's also so good. I watched it and I was like, wow, I think it's called Mawe. It's directed by Malcolm.
Yes, I've watched it.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the story is not yours.
Yes.
You are just a conduit for it to come out. Even if a story has been retold, as long as it's good,
yes,
you can enjoy it both times.
Yeah.
So never feel too pressured that someone else has told a story that you wanted to tell. Tell it your way.
Yeah.
And you never know which audience will fall in love with yours.
Exactly. Can you tell us a little bit about your background in theatre and how it feeds into you being a filmmaker?
A very funny story. I entered theatres in my high school. We used to do MDD, music, dance, and drama. That was the first time I botched an audition. It was so bad. The direction was, you have a headache, come and act like you have a headache.
Okay.
Don't I walk in holding my stomach? I come in, I'm like, oh my God. I have a headache. This guy is like, first stop, everyone first stop. Good, you have a headache, why are you touching your stomach? And I was like, oh.
Hi guys, welcome to the very first episode of Reel Africana. I am your host Ibarra and I am super excited to have with me my very first guest, Denzel.
Hello.
Denzel, you're
Hi.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Denzel, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling great?
First of all, I'm really grateful for being the first guest here.
Yes.
Is
it too much pressure?
No, not really. I try not to overthink certain things. I just feel lucky.
You feel lucky?
I feel lucky that...
Yeah, I feel lucky to have you as well. Definitely. Thank you for saying yes.
The honor was mine.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to just start off with who is Denzel? Also, by the way, so Denzel's other name is Maniple. Maniple. You see? Yeah. Let me let you say your name correctly.
Yeah. So my name is Denzel Maniple Everd.
Okay.
Yes, my surname is Maniple. Everd is my middle name.
Maniple, where are you from?
I'm a Muchiga from Rukunjiri.
No way.
Yes.
Absolutely no way.
Rukunjiri.
You're not Maniple?
Yes.
Why is your name Maniple?
It's like a tiny village I come from. It's called Nyachsoroza.
Nyachsoroza. Do you speak Ruchiga?
I do.
Yeah, Mao.
No, but I'm not very fluent, but I can speak.
But I'm so surprised though, like the name. So how does that, because it doesn't sound African at all.
Yes, it's not an African name.
Okay.
It's Latin.
Latin?
Yes. My family is very Catholic.
Okay.
And my grandfather gave my father that name, Maniple. And Maniple basically means a cloth. It was a cloth that priests used to wear. Catholic priests used to wear.
Okay.
And it was meant to be like their helper. It would help them when they are serving mass.
Interesting.
And my grandfather named my dad that. My father is lucky enough, he has an actual Ruchiga name.
Okay.
But for me, he was like, no, I'm going to name you after this famous actor. And then I'll also give you my surname.
Oh my God, you are named after Denzel Washington?
Yes, yeah.
Guys, I cannot believe this. This is like... Actually, segue, you are actually an actor yourself. Denzel's an actor, director, writer, Should I continue? Because like you have a whole list of cool things.
I just these days I just umbrella it. I say filmmaker, storyteller, and because I studied BCom and I specialized in marketing, so basically it's filmmaker, storyteller, marketer.
Filmmaker, storyteller, marketer. Wow, those are like so many hats.
This is Uganda. I have to wear everything until
I know. I'm literally the same way, and I keep saying that if you don't do that, you're not going to eat.
you want
But also, it's like, why should we limit ourselves to just doing one thing?
yes.
You know, I believe that we are more than one thing. We're like multifaceted people. So anything that you can try, as long as you're able to, you should try it out. If it doesn't work out, well and good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want us to dive into a film of yours that I watched because I want to first start with Let's Eat. So Denzel has directed a film called Let's Eat, and another one called Cut It Off. We're going to talk about the titles of your films, by the way. They're very, like, they sound a bit simple, but then they get you, at the same time, they get you thinking, like, let's eat, cut it off. It's like, are you going to keep, like, doing short sentences for your films?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
I feel like because most times I get the title of the film after I've written the script. Sometimes it's before, and it actually helps and guides me as I make the film. And then at some point when I'm done with the movie, I'm just like, okay, this title no longer holds the strength that I want it to hold for the movie. And then I look through my script and I look through the dialogue, and I'm like, this is the title. So yeah, I mean, I think because even now, like the scripts that I've written, that I've finished, and I want to produce, the titles came from the scripts, even though I already had an idea of what the title was going to be before the movie was made. After I've written the script, I'm like, this is the title. This is
wow, you're so lucky, because I'm like I'm the opposite. I obsess about a title. I obsess before I can know the story, but I need to see that title page with my title before I do anything. Like literally my mind cannot go beyond. So even when I'm writing, I'm working on it, I have to go back and be like, what is the title? But I'm now learning to be less obsessive, and it has actually helped, whereby like I can now finish a story, then come back and, you know, and title it. But I think sometimes I get obsessive because the title leads me into the story. I mean, sometimes. So it's like, I don't know, have you experienced that?
Again, it's okay to, like, I think it's basically you're developing your process now. So it's okay to have a title which you're like, I'm not going to let go of this until.
Yes, it sounds so good.
Yeah. And then you write the story, and then at some point you're like, okay, now that title has served its purpose. I need the title that will carry the film into the next phase. It's okay. You don't have to.
So let's talk about Let's Eat. It's a very interesting. So the story is it's a thriller. And it's about these, actually, you know what, Denzel, please talk about your film, because I might not do it justice. I know about it, I've watched it twice, but please tell us about Let's Eat.
Yes, so Let's Eat, first of all, I didn't write that script.
Okay.
It was written by a very passionate and powerful writer called Eve Muyanja.
Okay.
I think you'll find her on Medium.
Okay.
She has a lot of her written works there.
I think I've seen her online.
Yes.
Yeah, though I've not met her in person.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person.
Okay.
So she wrote this story about these characters who are basically, they're in a love triangle. And her main character is basically taking her revenge on her best friends for cheating on her and betraying her. And her version of the story, at least the one which is online, has a much more gruesome aesthetic to it. I think it's basically this, like the whole story begins with her chopping up this guy, and then she invites these guys over. And
that was the original story?
That was the original story.
Oh,
yeah. And the reason we didn't start with that was purely financial. We were like, where are we going to get the money to make fake blood? Where are we going to make the money for this? To get prosthetics for like the body parts and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, why don't we just make it a dinner session? And through the dialogue, we developed the entire story.
Okay.
and everything just comes out that way, that these people are actually eating. Spoilers, it's okay.
Guys, this is
I
spoiler.
I trust my movie
Real
enough.
Africana is not spoiler free.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but
Yeah. I trust my story enough
Yeah.
to know that even if I tell you what happens in it, the meat of the story is when you watch it and you see all the small details that we labor to put
So-
into it.
like the pun you just used there.
Yeah.
When you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you say the meat of the story.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so essentially she finds out that her current fiance has been sleeping with one of her best friends. And of course that doesn't make her happy, and she decides to take revenge on him. She murders him, chops him up, and prepares him in a dish that she then invites these people to come and eat.
Darkness. Like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
Like, how? I think I would have to ask Eve, the writer, because,
Yeah.
like, to write something like that, you have
No,
to
you
have a
should
particular
reach out to her and invite her.
mindset. Yeah.
Though quite recently I discovered that our film was not even the first one to do this particular story. And I've been trying to wrestle with the whole idea as, like, I think even last year when it showed at Ngalabi Film Festival, there was another film which had a similar concept. And I was like, what's this with Africans and us eating the people who
Cannibalism.
Yeah,
What's up,
there's like-
Africa? Cannibalism.
there's like a weird, I don't know, there's something in our culture about
Yeah.
eating the people who have wronged us.
But actually, I find that very interesting about, like, having creative ideas that seem to be also in the how can I put it? Like, it's in the sphere, it's around
ether.
in the ether,
Yeah.
zeitgeist, whatever,
Yeah.
there's a lot of English words we could use.
Yeah.
But sometimes as creators, we are so protective of our ideas because we're like, I don't want someone to steal my idea. I don't want it to seem similar to another person.
Yeah.
However, the beauty of creativity is that it can still be the same idea, but it's expressed differently.
Yeah. The story
Do you
is not
struggle
yours.
with that? Yeah. Do you struggle with that as a writer or filmmaker?
I used to, but I learned that, like, I think it was one of the stories that has taught me this, like, the story is not yours. That's why, like, even this year I discovered another film which had the exact same concept.
Yeah.
And it's also so good. I watched it and I was like, wow, I think it's called Maui. It's directed
Malcolm.
by Malcolm.
Yes, I've watched it.
It's the same story.
Yep.
And I'm like, the story is not yours.
Yes.
You are just a conduit for it to come out.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly starting to come to that. And yes, I will protect my version of the story. But again, I'm not going to, if I see it out there, I'm not going to be like, oh, that guy stole my story. No. We are as a storyteller, we come across a lot of the same ideas, and usually because we think alike, we end up coming down to the same conclusion.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that I am against intellectual property. Protect your story by all means,
Yes.
especially how you execute it. And I think the more you learn about intellectual property, you learn how they will not protect your story until you can prove that no one else can replicate this unless they have copied it from you.
Yeah.
So if you're creative, first of all, like, learn to accept that these ideas are not yours. The universe, we all live in the same universe.
Yes.
And that means that we all come across the same ideas, and sometimes we come down to the same conclusions.
Yes.
It's the execution that separates you from the other creative.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you'll be there, and I think you also come across a situation where you think of an idea, but you don't act on it, and then, like, 2 years later, you see the thing out there, and you're like, okay, I saw this thing, and I was
I've actually, I was thinking about that because I have one of my favorite writers is Elizabeth Gilbert, and there's a book of hers that she wrote that is called Big Magic, and in Big Magic she explores the concept of when an idea wants to happen, it will find a way no matter what.
Yeah.
For us, like you said, we're just conduits, we're just vessels.
Yeah.
So if you sit on an idea for too long, it's going to move away from you and
Yeah.
go to another person. So
Yeah.
she talks about this book that she was trying to write, and she spent so long trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But then the idea left her and went to another writer who is actually a friend of hers. And she
Really?
could have easily felt like, you stole my idea.
Yeah.
That was my, I was supposed to do that first. But then she just said, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I slept on that. I'm so glad it found another route. So it's
Yeah.
about like being accepting of the fact that if you don't take advantage of something, it's going to fall onto another person. So I find that very interesting.
I think I want to add on to that idea. I think even if someone else does the idea, it's okay if you do it,
As well. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the beauty of it is that you're doing it the way you want to tell that story.
Right, your perspective.
Yeah. And that's something that no one else can give you.
Yes.
Even if you had the exact same characters and they were following the exact same tropes, there is something, even if it's just the way they talk,
Right.
the way you execute it is your thing. So don't have that pressure of, oh, someone else is going to do this if I don't
Yeah.
do it. No, let them do it. It's okay.
But they cannot do it like Denzel.
You get. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like coming back to like films is like there's an animated movie called Megamind, and there's an animated movie called Despicable Me.
Okay, yeah, I've watched Despicable Me.
They came out in the same year. I think they even came out in the same month. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's the same month or like back to back. Like it came out this one. But they're the exact same concept. What if the villain became a hero?
Right.
And they have the same characters. Like all the villains have minions. The villains have a hero who they're fighting. And you'd think, oh, these guys saw that movie and they gave up on
copied
it.
it.
Yeah, but they didn't. They both came up with the movie at the same time in different studios, and they released it, and they're both really good.
Wow.
And when you watch both of them, they both have an entertainment value that one doesn't have, even though they're
Yeah.
the same concept.
Yeah.
So it just kind of reminds you how even if a story has been retold, as long as it's good,
Yes.
you can enjoy it both times.
Yeah.
So never feel too pressured that someone else has told a story that you wanted to
Yeah.
tell. Tell it your way.
Yeah.
And you never know which audience will fall in love with yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's just you. It has, your
Yeah.
DNA on it. No one can tell it exactly
Exactly,
like
yeah.
you. So, okay, so let's eat Crazy Story. Guys, go and watch it on YouTube. I'm going to share links after this, after the video. But the other film of yours that I so really enjoyed is Cut It Off. And Cut It Off I like it because it's very simple to the point, but also it explores men's hair. Like it's such a very interesting concept because men, masculinity and hair, sometimes they're like this, they go like this, but then you decide to tell a film about men's hair. What was that about, and what inspired you to go in that direction?
So Cut It Off came as there was a film competition going around that as a filmmaker, we're always trying to look for excuses to make a movie.
Right. Always.
So there's a competition that came around by a really weird and shady African company, but I saw it on Instagram and they were talking about make a very short film talking about decolonization and basically African roots. So I got excited and I was like, I reached out to my friend. He's called Clive Nshime. He also
I know
has
Clive, yeah.
he also has a bunch of really cool short films
Yes.
on YouTube. Check them out. One of them, I think the most popular one right now is called Broken. Check.
Yeah.
Just
Actually, Clive is also in Let's Eat.
yes, he
acts in
is.
Let's
He acts
yeah.
in
Okay, yeah.
He's my filmmaking partner. So,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I shared the idea with him. I'm like, hey, there's this competition going around. Do you want us to do a thing on it? And he's like, man, I know this one is probably we can have a bunch of ideas, but basically I think the idea that will win that competition will be a story about an African girl who reconnects with her African hair, with her roots through her African hair. And he was like, okay, fine. He told me that idea and I was like, there's an interesting idea in there that we're completely glossing over, which is the story of an African man who also reconnects through his African hair. And I sat on it. I think it was just one evening because it was a very rushed production. And I got thinking about how yes, African women suffer a lot with their hair, and there's a lot of stigma that they have to overcome.
Yes.
And we forget that men are the dead versions of that.
Dead version.
For us, they completely
There's
butchered
even
us.
yeah,
There's
it's like,
no.
if
there's-
women are struggling,
women are
men
struggling
are not
for-
non-existent.
They don't
like,
exist anymore.
Wow.
And
okay.
there's like a handful of guys who just fight. And we call these guys Rastas.
Yes, Rastafari.
Because these guys do their dreadlocks. They do. So basically, you'd think these are like the zombies in that context.
Yeah.
But men were completely destroyed in that aspect. Because for us, again, that like you shouldn't even be focusing on your hair. For you, just focus on making money to take care of the family. Don't
Oh my
worry
God.
about your beauty. What
No one
if you
cares
have money?
about your hair,
If you have money, no one cares about anything else. You'll survive.
which is not fair.
It's not.
Yeah.
But so, because again, I really think about how like life has a lot. Life is supposed to be very multifaceted. We're supposed to have so many dimensions to your existence.
Yes.
And yet, unfortunately, we are forced to be on survival mode most times. And in survival mode, you don't have time for other things.
No.
And men are usually in that headspace of survival mode. It's like, I have to. Even when you finally get money,
You
usually,
don't enjoy it.
usually you're like, now I have to pay.
Uh-huh.
I have to pay for the suffering that I've made. And then you're
It's
like,
like I don't deserve to be happy. I don't
uh-huh.
deserve money. Wow.
So we end up, even if we get some form of happiness, we destroy it because we've spent most of our time suffering. So now we are overcompensating and we make so many mistakes. A guy gets like 3 families. And
Oh, wow. Yeah.
even if he had enough money to take care of himself and his family, now he has 3. And he has to feed all those.
Wow, I feel like that's like I would like to dive into that. Like
Yeah.
a very
It's a whole other thing.
yeah, because I'm thinking because like why would a person do that?
Yeah.
But that's a podcast for another day.
Yeah.
But
So,
I think
but basically, it's designed for men to just self-destruct. And there's a whole different other version of women because women also fall into that category of self-destruct. Like
Right.
men and women are very self-destructive.
definitely. Yeah.
And for men, because I'm a man, I can see it more from my perspective. But with men, I'm always like, I think it's always better if a woman tells this story because she knows her version of things.
Okay.
And she'll tell it better. I can only observe and be like, it's interesting. But if I try to tell that story, there'll be so many things that I have not seen and experienced. So let me tell it from my
Your
perspective.
perspective. I think that was very
Yes.
it's good to have that level of consideration
Yeah.
because we've had so many male directors who
Yeah,
have tried to tell
that is
women's
true.
stories
Yeah.
and they have not done them justice.
And the most unfortunate the most unfortunate part of it is that whenever people consider the greatest film directors, it's just men. And yet there's so many female directors who tell a story and they're like, this is so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is such a great story. Like this is up there with like these guys of Steven Spielberg and Ati Quentin. Like they are
Yeah.
such great storytellers.
Who are some of your favorite like female directors?
I would say there's this lady. She's Francis Ford Coppola's daughter. I'm forgetting her name.
Yeah, I know who you're speaking about.
Yes,
Sophia Coppola.
Sophia Coppola. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
she's
yes.
amazing. Yes.
Then Greta
Greta Gerwig,
Gerwig.
my favorite.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Then I'd think I'm horrible with their names, but I know their movies. The director of American Psycho. She-
Yes.
Yes.
Something. It's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
When we remember, we shall put it on.
You'll
the,
forgive me.
Yeah.
But I know I
Yes.
watched that movie and I was
Yes.
like, wow, she completely understood the character
Yes.
to the point that even the author of the book reached out to her and he was like, this is exactly what I was
it.
trying to talk about.
Wow, and that is not a
It's
very common
rare.
thing.
It is so rare for the
Yeah.
author of the book to reach out to the film director because most times the authors actually hate the directors. Like, you spoilt my
Yeah.
idea. This is
Yeah.
completely out of what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
But she completely blew it out of the park with
Yeah.
what she did with American
Yeah.
Psycho. And I'm like, this is what we're talking about. come back to like Greta Gerwig. I watched her, I think it was Little Women, but I loved this other movie which she did with this, I think she's a Swedish actor. This,
Saoirse Ronan.
yes, yeah.
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird.
Yes, I love Lady
it so
Bird.
much. I loved it so much.
Yes.
The character arc that she goes with, where like, again, it's a coming of age story.
I love those.
And we have so many coming of age stories of girls told by men. But there's always that angle that a woman gives to the story.
Yeah.
And she told the story of this character in such a way as just like,
Yeah.
this woman deserves to be up there.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
deserves to be up there on that
Absolutely,
heap. Yeah.
So I feel like, so I can now understand why you had to do Let's Eat the way you did it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I found that stood out for me in the film was just how tender the male friendship was. Or, okay, we know the relationship between a man and, let's say, his hairdresser or his barber. But
Oh, this is Cut It Off.
yeah, this is talking about, sorry,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad, Cut
Yeah,
It Off,
yeah,
in Cut It Off. Their relationship, you can see us, they've known each other for a long time, and they have just this, camaraderie between them. And I found it so beautiful how this, the barber was very, like, it was gentle. He was very gentle with him. It's like, I know your hair.
Yeah.
And if someone knows your hair really that intimately, they know you, they care about you.
Yeah.
And he says, you don't have to let this hair go. Let me show you how you can.
Yeah.
An alternative to it,
Yeah.
And this character is struggling because he's getting married, and the in-laws are like, cut off those dreadlocks, get rid of that hair, it's shaggy, it's, you're not going to marry our daughter.
Yeah.
But then his baba is the one who says, you know what, I know who you are, you should stay exactly the way you are, and if your fiance accepts you, then no one else matters. So I want to you talk about just that. How can I describe it? That tenderness between men, because men are not allowed to be gentle with themselves, but you actually expressed a very vulnerable, moment between these two men. And I thought, wow, that is so beautiful. And using hair, which is again, not attributed to men. So how did you come about that? And how did you shoot that scene particularly? Because I think I was even watching the way you're filming it. I was like, wow, it was handled with so much care. Yeah, that really stood out.
I think it's because it's also something that I'm trying to get more into, of getting more comfortable with being vulnerable with my male friends and my male friendships. Because, I mean, these are guys who you claim that you love.
Right.
But you can't talk about your self-identity with them. You can't talk about what you love with them. You can't openly admit to love something. You can't even openly admit to loving them. Not even in a romantic way, but they're like, you're my friend and I love you. Because here they'll be like, you're gay, you're what? And
no homo.
and yeah, and I'm like, I'm just saying, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to be, I'm not telling you that in a sexual way. I'm telling you this because I care about you and I want the best for you.
Right.
And I recognize that you take care of me as well, and you listen to me when I'm having my problems. So I think you need to calm down with your homophobia and just accept that, we're friends, we're dudes, and we are allowed to touch each other's hair and touch each other's shoulders.
Yes.
And we can express ourselves to each other,
right,
and talk about these things because they're very important. And I think an attribute of friendship is always self-expression.
Yes.
If you cannot express yourself to your friends and if they cannot express themselves to you, then that friendship is limited, because in a way you're not living life to its fullest.
Yes.
And life is very short.
It is.
Because you don't know when it's going to end for you. And fine, you can believe in the afterlife and all that stuff, but even the afterlife that people talk about,
we're not sure.
Everyone has a different idea of it.
Exactly, yes.
And the worst thing is that because people have different ideas of it, how sure am I that I'm going to end up in yours or you're going to end up in mine?
Right.
Or
my goodness.
Or if there's even one.
That's a very interesting concept.
We
could die and I end up in a different afterlife than you, and still we never get to hang out.
You get.
So wow, that's crazy.
So I'm just like, life is what we are living now is actually the most important one.
Yeah.
So if you go around saying, I'll do it next in the after one, like,
no,
you have no guarantees
this is
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's all here.
Yeah.
So express yourself with your friends. Express, like, try and be kind. And
Yes.
I'm not even saying that as a paragon of this example. No.
Yes.
I shot it in that kind of way because I'm also experimenting. I'm like, what does this look like? How will people take it?
Yeah. By the way, was this your first film that you wrote?
I think it's the first that I have produced of my own, yes.
Because Let's Eat was someone else's script that you directed, and Cut It Off is your own writing.
Yeah.
And it comes out actually, and you can tell this was a very personal story for you. And even the way you directed it and the way you worked with the actors was very personal.
Yeah.
I think
I have another film which I shot when I was basically learning how to make films. That one doesn't have a script. It's just a random nightmare that I had. And I just came and I was like, this is the idea, let's shoot it.
Is it online?
Yeah, it's online. It's
okay,
on
what's it called?
It's called what is it called?
Denzel. You don't know the name of your first film?
I'm actually embarrassed.
No way.
I think it's something to do with fever dreams.
Okay. Fever dreams.
I'm sorry I'm holding this on, but I'm just trying to remember it because
oh god, it's fine. I mean I cannot relate. I was about to be like I get it, but I cannot relate. So, but what I can say is that I can tell that there's a difference between a script that someone else has given you to direct that is their own writing, and then a script that is your very own that has your voice. Because I can understand your voice as a director. I could see your voice as a writer and then your style as a director, and when they merge together, I was like, okay, this is Denzel, and I get the type of person or storyteller that he is. I think the other thing that stood out for me from Cut It Off was you brought in our local languages. So we had Luganda, we had Lutoro, and it was so beautiful because there's a part where I think the Baba is talking about hair, but then he brings in he almost says it like what's the word in English? English is such a barrier. But like he talks about it in a way that, let's say, you could feel like it's even your ancestors talking to you, and even refers to ancestors and hair and how hair is such a big part of our identity and embracing it. And he says this in Lutoro. Guys, it's very beautiful. You have to watch it. I was like, I must learn Lutoro because it's like, it just sounded so beautiful. I wanted to know, do you understand Lutoro? And did you...
I wrote
whose idea was it?
I wrote my script in English.
Okay.
But I knew who the actor was going to be. He's my friend. He's called Joshua Mwesigwa. But he's a Baba. He's a Baba in real life.
He really is a Baba. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
So I knew that one, he's an actor because I'd worked with him before in our high school. I did a play with him.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I directed. I wrote this play and I directed it, and he acted in it. And I knew he could act, and I also knew he was a Baba.
Wow!
And I also knew that he's a Pan-Africanist, so he's very keen on knowing his mother tongue.
Okay.
But he's also keen on learning other African languages.
Yes.
So he's fluent in Rutoro, he's fluent in Luganda, and he's actively learning other languages like Ruchiga and what.
Okay.
So I told him, I gave him the script. I was like, hey, the script is in English. It's good you understand English.
Yes.
But I want you to give the lines, I want you to read these lines in whichever mother tongue you feel more comfortable with. Are you comfortable with Rutoro or Luganda? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to read it in Rutoro because I'm a Rutoro. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
So he said those lines very beautifully, and it wasn't hard directing him because he also fell in love with the words.
Okay.
And he knew that they rang true because I think even when you're writing, you're trying to avoid being a preachy writer.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
And talking about how our hair connects us to our ancestors, I could write I did write a whole paragraph on my Instagram when I was marketing the movie.
Like...
I was like, our African hair is how we used to distinguish ourselves in our tribes and what. And,
Yeah.
But then I was like, this is a short film.
It's a short film. You could as well write an essay.
Just put one line there. This hair connects us to our ancestors. Whether you want to do research on that on your own, that's up to you. Whether you just want to take it as a piece of poetry, that's up to you.
Yeah.
So,
but the lines, the way he said them in Rutoro, they sounded very
he
poetic.
gave them so much life.
And I was like, wow, that is so beautiful. So I think, so for me now, understanding like the kind of filmmaker that you are, I also know that you have a background in theater.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background in theater and how it feeds into you being a filmmaker? Yeah.
As a person who entered proper performance art through theater, it was, I started out because I entered theater as a in my high school. We used to do MDD, music, dance, and drama, and I remember we hated it so much when we started it out because
that's like an experience all around.
Yeah, we hated it. We're like, man, I could be doing sports right now. I
need to
could
be
playing
cool.
rugby or basketball or football or whatever. But they're calling us here to sing and dance. And then I got there and I remember this was like my Form 1. And they put us in like in a room and they're saying, all Form 1s are going to have to learn and play these musical instruments. And they put me on the thumb piano. And this guy turned us into an orchestra.
Oh, wow.
And
Wait, which school was this?
This was SMARC.
SMARC, okay.
Yeah, St. Mary's College, Chisubi.
Yeah.
And turned us into a proper orchestra. And we're making music. I never played an instrument in my life. And we're making music and I was like, wow.
This is cool.
Yeah. And during the same production, they were looking for actors. And I was like, I love movies. But I don't know if I want to act. So they just forced us. They were like, go ahead, you guys are Form 1s, you're going to do everything. And I remember actually that's where I met this guy, Tamale.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Shout
where,
out to Michael if you're watching.
Yeah, that's where I met him because he was already acting there.
Yeah.
And he was so good already. I was like, yeah. Because now I'm just remembering like...
Oh, wow. You were in school with Michael.
Yeah,
that
but he was ahead of me.
World.
He was ahead of me.
Okay.
And that was the first time I botched an audition. It was so bad. A very funny story. So they told us we're going to be acting, but like it was even an audition. Again, we're Form 1s. There was no debate. You have
it's a
to
dictatorship.
Act. Yeah, you have to act. We entered the room. We're meeting the doctor. The skit was basically you have to enter the doctor's room. He's going to look at you, touch you a little bit, and then you move. So the main character comes in after. So the direction was you have a headache. Come and act like you have a headache.
Okay.
Don't I walk in holding my stomach? I come in, I'm like, oh
my God.
I have a headache. This guy is like, first stop, everyone first stop. Dude, you have a headache. Why are you touching your stomach? And I was like, oh, I think I was just nervous.
Oh my God. I know. It's so funny.
I was so anxious about the whole situation.
Oh my God.
So
wow.
acting is not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not.
People think, guys, acting is not easy at all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what do you mean you're holding your stomach?
Yeah,
and you have a
it
headache?
was. And then I was like,
But hey, I mean,
Yeah.
a stomachache could be a side effect of having a headache.
no. That's never going to pass
Like
on
if
anyone's.
that was, if you had,
Yeah.
thought about that, you could,
Yeah.
could have make it work. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was a very funny situation, but I ended up just playing a random extra in the play that they had.
Oh, they gave you extra because you just.
Yeah. But being on the stage was so lively and we got to be part of the story. And the feeling that I got from being part of a story, it was something I'd never... Because theatre acting and film acting are very different.
Very different, yes.
Because with theatre acting, you actually enter what they call the flow state, where you are in the story.
Yes.
And you're interacting with other people and you're experiencing the emotions. And sometimes the audience does help a lot. Sometimes it doesn't. But there's a point where you are actually locked into what is going on in the
Yes.
story.
Yes.
And you're telling it back to back and it's non-stop. And you know your cues and you know your lines. And
Yeah.
it's just... And I experienced that even as an extra. I was just waiting for my line. I came and I did it. And I remember my parents made fun of me of that particular high school play.
Yeah.
They made fun of me because I was being whisked off. I was playing some guy at the borehole and I was being arrested for something and I was being thrown off the stage. And I got arrested and I was leaving, but I had a huge smile.
Wow.
So my parents were like, yo,
What kind of
you're being
acting?
arrested, but you're smiling off the stage.
Clearly, acting was
I
not
was
your
just
strongest
happy,
suit at the time.
And then cut to, I think my form 6 is when I made the play with my friend.
Okay.
But this time I didn't act, I just directed it. And I saw my story come to life with all these guys. And I was like, wow. And then my teacher came to me and I was like, yo, man, you're actually really good at this.
Yeah.
Like you came, because I gave the introduction to the play, basically like the opening monologue. Gave it, and then I walked off, and then my friends acted this out. And there was like a folk dance, and they wanted to do a folk dance. I was like, you guys can just enter our play. I can squeeze you into this section of my play.
Okay.
And they were like, really? I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So the whole production just came out really well, and everyone loved it. And my teacher came and was like, man, this is so good. I think you should actually consider this being like a career of yours.
Yeah. Wow.
Suddenly I was like, I've been watching movies, I've been watching plays. I had never considered
A career in this.
doing this.
Yes.
So this was like my form 6. Finished form 6, came out and I was like, these guys actually teach drama and film in Makerere here. Why am I applying for a T-Law, a T-What? I told my parents, this is what I want to do. My dad was like, Gundi,
Nada.
look around you. Look through here in Uganda. Who do you know is doing this and is like
Comfortable.
Like they're driving a car they like, they have a
No
house,
one.
they have a family, they can take care of them, they can have medical insurance.
Yeah.
There's no one. All the guys who are doing this have other jobs basically they have a day job and then they do this as a side thing. So there's no way I'm paying like for you to study, because
To do MDD.
here in Africa the college education is paid for by your parents
Yeah.
on top of high school. So
Yes.
there's not, I think like in other countries they
They
have
have
this
like
system where like
loans.
no like in America I think they have a system where it's basically primary, high school, it's paid for by the government. So it gives, that's why education that side like
So
tertiary
it allows
education,
parents to save for college.
yes, tertiary education that side is very expensive, so it allows them to save.
Yeah.
Here you're paying from
Why
day
can't our
one.
government do for us also? Like, anyway, go ahead.
Here our parents pay from day one.
Yeah, from baby
So
class.
there's no saving. So this guy in his mind is probably thinking, why am I paying for a course that has basically no guarantee of
Yeah.
financial success? And I was like, you know what? Sawa. But I remember that was like one of the few times that I've cried in my life.
Oh.
I entered my bed and I cried. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, imagine myself being this lawyer. I'm defending criminals. I'm miserable.
Boring. boring.
And I saw how that misery would end up translating into any kind of life that I was going to have. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to do any of this. But let me just pursue it as a side thing, even when I ended up doing BCom.
Okay.
But I kept
And business is
pursuing.
good for our, for...
That is something which I figured out in second year.
Oh.
First year I was just hating on the course.
Yeah. Business fits everywhere.
It fits everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So I ended up appreciating the course way after, but in that moment I was naive about the whole thing. I also didn't have very good career guidance for the thing.
Yes.
So I was just doing it because my parents were like, man, just do this. I was like, so fine, I'll do it. You're paying. Yeah. So I got there, I go to campus and they have a drama club. And my friend at Zanhu had told me like, hey, there's this drama club. I know you're interested in films. Try it out. Went, did the tryouts. I got a small part in the play.
And which campus is this?
This was Strathmore University in Nairobi.
Nairobi.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And I got into the play. And this director had such a strong impression on me. He understood his script in a way that I'd never seen someone interpret a story like this.
Right.
This guy, like, imagine I had done literature for all the 4 years. I did it. All the 6 years that I was at high school. This guy got a script. We had all read it. He came and reinterpreted it for all of us. And all of us were like, wow. That's when in my head I was like, this is the guy I want to be like.
Yeah.
The director is called Nick Muthama. He's a Kenyan director. I think he does primarily theater, so I don't
Okay.
think he's very popular. Like
I think I was confusing with someone else, but yeah.
yeah. But he's a very phenomenal director, and he understood this play, and he broke it down for us, the actors. He was telling us like, "I want you guys to understand these characters. You are the husband," because the play we're doing was Aminata
Okay.
by Francis Mbuga, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mbuga?
Mbuga, yeah.
Yeah.
And he interpreted the character as playing Aminata's husband, and he broke down these things for us, and I was like,
Wow.
this is what I want to do. You know, I would go, we would have classes during the day and then go for rehearsals in the evening. But my mind was always on the rehearsals.
You're waiting
after.
for
I'm waiting
rehearsals,
for when we do this run through with our characters. So we rehearsed for about 3 months, did the play, and I just loved it. I got into that flow state
Yes.
where you're in the story. And we did it again. I think we did another play again in my 4th year. We did a play called The Accidental Death of an Anarchist. And this time,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
and this time he gave me another role playing the inspector, I think. So this time I was on stage for longer.
Oh,
It was so
and by
good.
now you're not just there. I have a headache and you're touching your stomach.
Yeah. But then I had some credibility to me.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it was again, my background in theater is always, I just love it so much.
Yeah.
Because you are in the story. You know, when you're reading a story and you're locked in this world,
Yes.
acting it is very similar, but it's different because you know the whole story. Now you're acting it out. And despite how much you think that you'll get bored by the story, the fact that you're people on stage, you're humans, you
Yes.
make mistakes, small new things keep coming up.
Yes.
So you start improvising there,
Uh-huh.
and it's so good.
I
It's
love
just,
that. And you know how like no show is the same.
no show
When
is
you're
the
doing a
same.
theater
Yeah,
production,
yeah.
every show is different. And that I love the challenge of that. And of
Yeah.
course, sometimes you can have a really good show
Yeah.
and then the next one isn't that great, but then the audience is never going to know. Unless
Yeah.
of course they come back, you know, like
Come
for the
back
next
another
show.
time and they're like, oh, they didn't do this yesterday.
Yeah, so it's like and that's the thing I love about theater. Like for me, theater is my favorite thing because it frees me, it liberates me. Film comes with certain restrictions, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not as expressive. On
Yeah.
theater, I can scream
Can
you know,
scream.
but on TV and
Yeah.
film, you have to like contain everything for the camera because it's too intimate, it's
Yeah.
too, you know,
Yeah.
in your face. But then and also the energy of the audience,
Yeah.
because like that's one thing that's why I can never give up theater.
Yeah.
The energy from the audience,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the zone, it can both be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, they can throw you off.
It can.
But most times
Yeah.
when you go with that energy, it's like a feeling like no other.
I think it's the same feeling you get when you put on a mask,
Okay,
and all of a sudden you can be someone else.
anyone, anything.
And I think because I've watched you on stage, and I'm a big fan. I just
you.
I see how you
Thank you.
when you're talking about how you free
Yeah.
yourself and express yourself. I'm like, I see how if this is your day-to-day character, you are held down by society, and maybe you have
Yes.
to appeal to some people and not appeal to some people. Like it holds you back. But like,
Yes.
and the character that you played recently in Rope, I saw how you allowed yourself to just free, and
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
you're so good.
It was one of those like roles whereby like, because it was my second time playing that role.
Yeah.
And this time I had much more. I think because enough time had passed.
Yeah.
Because also sometimes when you play a character and you leave it behind, it comes back to you in a different form. So
different
it had
way.
come back in a different, and it was like
And you know
demanding.
more now, and
Exactly,
yeah,
and
you
I've
can bring more to
experienced
more to
life
the character,
more.
yeah.
So because also as performers, as creatives,
Yeah.
you learn more as you live.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you always have to go into the world and live and make mistakes and learn and build on to, you know. So it was very liberating.
Can I
And
ask what you felt like you didn't do the first time you played the role, and then you did in this one?
So I think what I didn't do in the first role, I didn't allow myself to be a bad woman.
Really?
Yes. I think as an actor,
Yeah.
I was not yet I think as an actor, I was always as still a bit of a people pleaser, or as a human being, I was still more of a people pleaser.
You're trying to moralize the character.
Like, so I would find ways to moralize the character. I'm like, oh, this woman, like, no, she's not that bad.
Yeah.
But now, the more time I've spent, as the older I get, I'm like, it's okay to be a bad woman, and not in the sense of like go around and shoot people, rob.
But you made it basically servicing the character.
Exactly, I'm servicing the character, but that's because in my own personal life, I'm okay with being viewed a certain way. I'm okay with being a villain, because before I used to fear being a villain. I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna think like, but I'm like, you know what, I'm in my villain era. Whatever the kids say. But like,
if you're a people pleaser, then
if you're a people pleaser,
people take advantage of
exactly.
you.
So, but because the older I get as a human being, but also as a performer, I'm like, oh, you can't please everyone, and so it's okay. So I had the freedom because I'd gone through things in my life where I'm like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to be the bad guy, because being the good guy is not fun. And no matter how hard you try sometimes to be the good guy, people who are determined to misunderstand you, they will misunderstand you. So being less of a people pleaser, because I'm still working on it, helped me to liberate me to play that character where I'm like, you know what, she's a single mother, she is selfish, she's bad, she's a bad sister, she's, you know, having an affair with...
She's a BITCA.
Yeah, she's a BITCA. She's having an affair with, you know, her sister's husband. She's doing all of these things. But you know what? It's okay, because women like that exist. But also, she is a great mother, you know, regardless of all these bad things she has done, she's a great mother. So there are always things that humanize us, no matter what else is going on. And so that is, to answer your questions, you know, that's how I was able to liberate myself and enjoy being Constance.
Because I saw that nuance. Beautiful performance.
Did you watch the first one?
I didn't watch the first version.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you saw the second one, because it was a lot better. But thank you. So I feel like, even as because your film is going to be showcased at the Ngalabi Film Festival. This is next weekend. So guys, Ngalabi Film Festival is an annual film festival by Gute Zentrum. Here in Kampala, and they showcase different films from different parts of East Africa, mostly.
I think it's all over Africa.
I think even Africa, actually. So Denzel's film, Cut It Off, was selected to be one of the films showcased among other amazing films. We are definitely going to be there, but also in case you don't catch it on the festival, it's also on YouTube. So how do you feel about the Ngalabi selection? This being your second time in a row, by the way.
No, it was, I'm just grateful. I'm just really grateful, because such a festival gives your film a platform that YouTube maybe doesn't. Because when you're on YouTube, you're a slave to the algorithm. So the algorithm can choose to either show your film to other people or it won't. But with a festival like this, one is that it's showing it to people who the story is relevant to. And two, it's just validation. You know, like this story was made by a bunch of people who really put their heart and soul into it. And having your story being told by other people and being showed by other people, it's like, thank you, you know. Thank you for acknowledging that this story needs to be told as much as we did. But also thank you for putting it to your audiences. You know, because this is a story like Cut It Off. It's the way it's designed as a story is a conversation opener. It's by no means a start and end to a story. It's, I put the story there and I was like, okay, this movie is a question. It's one big question. What do you do in a case where Africans are telling you not to be African? And, you know, I do not have the answer to that because everyone has a different perspective and everyone has to answer this question for themselves. There are people who can, you know, think about this on a much larger scale. And then there are also us who have to think about it on an individual and personal level and see how to implement this within our families, within our communities. Like, are you going to be that guy who sees someone who has taken time? Because growing your hair is a very difficult process.
Tell me about it.
As a guy who doesn't even grow his hair.
But I was curious. I'm like, you love hair so much, but you don't have hair on your head.
It's a thing of, I didn't have this culture as a child. And right now, again, it's that whole thing that I was telling you earlier of like men being told to focus on making money.
Right.
So I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, okay, I need to spend money on hair oils. I need to spend money on going to the salon to fix my hair if
Right.
in case it breaks. And the moment I think about all that stuff, I'm like, okay, I want to do that. Then my finance guy enters the room and is like, big man, the bank account says that you can't do these things. Wake up, go to the barber, tell him, give you a fed,
Cut it off.
pay your 5K, your 10K, and leave. And I'm like, man, I really want to do that, but I'm just not there financially. So I have been forced to focus on trying to make sense of my career financially, to seek financial stability before I can seek self-expression.
Okay. But
Yeah.
you can still, what I love about art and what we do is that you can still live vicariously through your characters.
Yes. So
And
yeah.
so that's
In a way, I feel currently I'm represented that way.
exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully one day you'll see some old man with dreadlocks.
I know it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denzel, I think as we conclude, I just want to ask you about like what are your next steps now after you've experimented with these films? Is there like a feature film in the works? Is there a play, a stage production? Like what is your what is next for Denzel?
Creatively, I am currently working on another short film.
Okay.
I'm still not in the headspace for feature film.
Which I agree. You don't always
Yeah.
have to jump to a feature film.
Yeah, because feature films are a complete different beast.
Yes.
And the kind of feature films that I want to make, I already know the stories that I want to make as feature films. But I don't know if I am the guy to tell them yet. And until I am that guy, I'm going to continue making my short films. So I know the stories that I want to make as feature films. I have the treatments, they're there. They're in my email. I wrote them and I sent them to myself.
Oh, yeah.
But because as a filmmaker, as an artist, or just as a craftsman, you need to continuously practice your craft. So I'm still making short films. The current short film that I'm trying to work on is called, it's a very complicated one. And it's still in that phase which I told you about.
Okay.
The title that holds the film until you're finished writing the script.
Okay.
This one I've actually finished writing the script, but I'm still tweaking it. It's called Climate Control Apparatus.
Okay. Climate
Yes.
control apparatus.
Yes.
Is it anything to do with climate change and
Yes.
the world ending?
Yeah. So the idea of the film is it's set in the future where the world has basically eaten itself because we failed to manage our consumption and our destruction of the environment. And there's this gentleman who now because we've destroyed the environment, the world government, because I'm assuming that at that point we are no longer like individual states.
Right.
At that point we have a world government
Okay.
and they are selling to people because it's like extreme, it's like how do we call it? Third wave capitalism.
Late stage capitalism.
Late stage capitalism, yeah. So they are selling people solutions of how to live
Okay.
in a world where the outside environment is no longer habitable. So basically everyone lives in like, how they call it, artificial atmosphere homes. Yes. So this guy has just purchased his package and he's unpacking it.
Oh my God, that is so dystopian.
Yeah,
but I
it's a
love
very
it.
dystopian
I
movie,
love
yeah.
it. Oh my God,
It's a
I
very
cannot
simple.
wait.
It's a very simple story. I don't want to dwell so much on the world building.
Yeah.
It's just a backdrop to which this character lives in.
Right.
Yeah,
So is it
so-
more like a one location?
Yeah, it's a one location
I
story.
figured.
And I'm hoping that I can shoot it at the end of the year and release it next year.
Can I come and hold the boom mic?
Yes, please. We will need all the hands we can get.
I would be very happy to come and volunteer in
Yeah.
any way. Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so that's the short film that I'm working on. And then I also have a play that I'm writing.
Yay!
Now this one is it's a full play, so it's a much bigger story.
Okay.
There's a lot of character movements, there are very many characters, and I'm still writing it. I think now I'm slowly entering the phase of the script where I am seeking help, and I've reached out to some people and I know who who's going to help me with the
Yeah.
editing. So yeah, maybe next year it will be done. Fingers
Okay.
crossed.
We shall be waiting. Yeah.
How it will be produced, that's a whole different
That
story.
is like,
but
you know, one thing I do. I normally, you finish the script.
Yeah.
As long as the script is in existence,
Yeah.
everything will work out.
Everything can work,
Well,
yeah.
Denzel, what can I say? This has been so amazing. I'm glad that we had this chat. I don't know if there's anything else that I've not asked you about that you would like to share with us. Any plug? Tell us your socials. You know,
I mean,
where can we find you? Where do you live? Where do you sleep? Tell us everything.
Everything.
Yes.
For my safety, I'll just
I know, no, I'm kidding.
I'll
But you know,
just-
like how we live in
yeah.
a world where, but like everyone now, like oversharing is a thing, right? So it's like, I live here, and like
Yeah.
this is my
Yeah,
room.
come
Like,
find me.
yeah, no, but please just tell us the
Tough.
basics. Like, what are your social handles?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you can check out I think I'm mostly active on Instagram.
yeah.
So Denzel_Everd. Then I also have a photography page like you.
Yes,
Like
yes, we
you.
both have
Yeah,
photography pages
yeah,
and we
it's
follow
just-
each other.
Yeah.
Guys, so I actually like, but like one thing I like is that I love when I meet people who also like do a lot of side questing. Like I'm not the perfect photographer, but I will have my photography page. I'm not the perfect DJ, but I will DJ. Like so, because I feel like it keeps feeding your creative spirit generally.
A multitude.
Multitude, thank you. So yes, please continue to plug yourself.
Yeah.
Excuse me for interrupting.
So I have a photography page called Some Things Denzel Sees.
Yes,
Every word
has an
has an
underscore.
underscore to
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes.
So Some Things Denzel Sees and Denzel Everd. That's my Instagram. YouTube is where my film is. But you can watch Cut It Off. You can watch Let's Eat. Yes, my first film is called Lucid.
Lucid, he remembered at the very end.
the
His
very
first
end.
film is called Lucid.
Yes.
And
I think it's because I haven't watched it in a very long time.
yeah, I can see how the fever dream comes in because like the lucidity
Yes,
is like a
exactly.
whole other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called
Okay.
Lucid. It's not my best work, but it's my first one.
Hey,
and I'm proud
you
of
finished it.
Yeah.
You did
and
it. You
I'm
finished
proud,
it.
I'm
You have a
proud.
film in existence.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Shout out to the mentor who taught me film.
Okay.
She's called Sandra Maisibu. She's also a filmmaker in Kenya.
Okay.
And she's the one who really, I didn't pay her a coin.
Oh,
And she took me under her belt and she was like, man, come and we make films. You want to make films?
let's make films.
Let's make films. And
Yeah.
so yeah, shout out to her as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Well, hopefully I will also be joining you because I'm still more into theater.
Yeah.
Film is like I act, I
Definitely,
produce, but
definitely.
like directing.
Yeah.
I think I'll come to you for some tips as well.
Alright.
Yeah, thank you so much, Denzel.
You also have to give me tips. You're an amazing actor, you're an amazing director.
Thank you.
I loved the Green Mile movie. I mean the Green Mile.
Oh, the Green Line at the Horizon.
Green Line at the Horizon. Yes, I
yes.
loved that play. So
Yeah, thank you so
don't
much. Shout out to
understand
Lloyd, the
yourself.
playwright. Yeah, he wrote a beautiful
out to
play.
Lloyd.
Yes, yeah. Okay, no, I'm very happy to help, and I know you'll also be very happy to help me. Guys, that's it. Our very first episode of Reel Africana. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Remember to follow Reel Africana on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. And also my personal Instagram is b.ibara. And then, I think Instagram, that's it. TikTok, same. But like, for now, it's just Instagram and the Reel Africana pages. Until next time, it has been an honor to have you, Denzel.
The honor is all
And
mine.
see you on the next one, guys. Bye.